Over 3 weeks after the murder of Marilyn Sheppard, Dr. Sam Sheppard is arrested. The story sweeps across America of the handsome young doctor charged for a murder he claims an unknown man committed. The press descends on Cleveland. They smell a story when it's discovered that Sam was cheating on Marilyn.
When the element of sex was injected into this case, it electrified the TV news and the print reporters. It was your classic love triangle. Suddenly, this was much more juicy than your straightforward homicide. This is the old courthouse, jail, police complex. When Sheppard was brought down, people came from miles around, standing on these fences over here, peering in windows, trying to catch a glimpse of this new celebrity. I mean, this case was amazing. It was the first example of where TV journalism created a media frenzy, the new birth of TV news, and it became almost a spectacle, a parade.
This parade will have a major effect on the trial's outcome. The prosecution contends that Dr. Sheppard had motive to murder his wife.
We have the picture painted that, of course, Marilyn Sheppard and Dr. Sam Sheppard lived a perfect, compatible life while they were together. Now, this becomes very important in this case. Was that life so happy? Were these relations so compatible all of the time? Was there ever any thought of divorce between these persons? How did Sam Sheppard treat his wife? Did he love her? Did he not love her?
The prosecution drives home its case, casting Sheppard as a cold-hearted killer. The friendly dinner Sam described in his statement to police was not so friendly after all. Marilyn was smoking, something that enraged Sam. He drank heavily, which is why he fell asleep on the couch. He awakens just before dawn. He goes upstairs and tries to have sex with Marilyn. She refuses. Overcome by rage, he bludgeons her to death. The prosecution contends that the murder weapon was some kind of surgical instrument. Sheppard goes to the lake and removes evidence of Marilyn's blood. He ransacks his house to make it look like a burglary. As for Sam's injuries, the prosecution contends they were partly self-inflicted and partly from the struggle with Marilyn. To the jury, it's beginning to look like Sam Sheppard did it.
But what happened next? What happened to your T-shirt? How come your dog didn't bark? And so time and time again, it was, I don't know. I have no information. I don't know. And so when you count up all the I don't knows and the no's and the negative responses, it's over 150. And so the impression was he had something to hide. He doesn't know. He's fuzzy on the details.
Then the prosecution produces a witness named Susan Hayes. She proves Sheppard is a liar. Here's the motive for murder.
And where did you remain that night?
At the Millers.
And where did Dr. Sam spend the night?
At the Millers.
Did you have intimate relations?
Were there other women in your life?
No. Yes.
During the time that you knew and associated with Dr. Sheppard, was the subject of divorce ever mentioned?
Well, he said that he loved his wife very much. but not as a wife, and that he was thinking about getting a divorce.
Suddenly he was looking not only like a liar, but a philanderer. And at least in the minds of 1950s suburban America, it wasn't such a giant step from that to possibly killer of your spouse.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, they were having these sexual relations in the car and elsewhere. How much respect did Sam Sheppard have for his wife while he was doing that? If the defendant is a person who would lie under oath to protect the name of a lady, which he has admitted, how many more lies would he tell to protect his own skin? I knew Marilyn Sheppard not, but from the evidence in this case, every indication is that she was a fine and beautiful woman and deserved not the fate that she received at the hands of Sam Sheppard on the morning of July the 4th.
The Sheppard trial comes to an end in December 1954. After 5 days of deliberation, the judge delivers the jury's verdict to the media mob.
We, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Sam H. Sheppard, not guilty of murder in the first degree, but guilty of murder in the second degree. James C. Byrd, foreman.
Murder in the second degree means Sam Sheppard will not go to the electric chair. Dorothy Kilgallen, a journalist from New York, says the media circus poisoned the trial process.
I was aghast at the verdict. It may have been a correct verdict, but it was a verdict wrongly arrived at and therefore frightening. Dr. Sheppard may indeed have bludgeoned his wife to death on the morning of July 4th, but the prosecutors for the state of Ohio did not prove he was guilty any more than they proved they were pin-headed men on Mars.
Sam Sheppard gets a life sentence for the murder of his wife. It seems the case is closed.
It seems the case is closed. Yeah, sure. Was Sam Sheppard headed for prison for the rest of his life? Sure seems like the case is closed. But to this day, the case is still not closed. But let me digress for a few moments. You see a woman in a red dress taking notes in court and making a statement. She's supposed to be Dorothy Kilgallen, a celebrity journalist. She's serving no official capacity at the trial, merely looking for self-promotion at the high-visibility murder trial. There was a popular TV show back then called What's My Line? It ran on Sunday nights from 1950 to 1967. And I watched it with my parents every Sunday night. 4 panelists try to guess contestants' occupations by asking yes or no questions. Dorothy Kilgallen was a regular in 736 episodes. Now, when I started watching the show, I was too young to understand the meaning of the phrase pompous ass. But that's exactly what she was. Like when she just stated, the state of Ohio did not prove he was guilty any more than they proved there were pin-headed men on Mars. A pompous ass, always seeking attention. Now, back on point. Let's go over the timeline of the murder case. Someone murders Marilyn Sheppard during the early morning hours of July 4th, 1954. Sam Sheppard blames it on the white biped male bushy-haired intruder. But the crime scene looks staged, and Sam Sheppard's alibi is full of holes and non-answers. The press, the prosecutors, and the judge are sure Sam Sheppard murdered his wife. Police officers arrest Sam 26 days later at 10:35 p.m. on July 30th. The trial begins better than 2 months later on October 18th. The trial takes 2 months to play out, and the jury finds Sam guilty of murder in the second degree on December 21st. But Sam Sheppard tells the judge, "I'd like to say, sir, I am not guilty." So, that's better than 5 months from start to finish, but this is far from the finish. There's a lot more to come. We'll get into it next time. Just a quick plug for Born to Be Wild before I sign off. A true story a classic outlaw biker saga, published by Warner Books 30 years ago and still selling. Thanks for stopping in. Until next time. See you. And that's a wrap.